So last week I did my comic haul, and I usually do that on Instagram and then I'll import it into YouTube. But Instagram has a limited amount of time that you can do that, and I was lazy and I waited too late, and so I missed out on doing that. So instead, I am going to review some books that I've read from last week already and talk about those and just post that on YouTube. So here's what I got. First off, we have Venom. This is number 2 from the new series from Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, and I really like this book. It is like a very Todd McFarlane era Spider-Man feel. It's very dark, but pulls in some really interesting elements of Venom and deals with maybe there was some more symbiotes on the planet before the Venom that we know and love. Next up, we have The Hunt for Wolverine, The Adamantium Agenda. And this is number 2. I love this Greg Land cover. This has probably been my favorite cover so far. And this has probably been my favorite Hunt for Wolverine book in the mini-series that they're putting out. And this one deals with the Wolverine's former New Avengers team, which is Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Spider-Man, I think Iron Man? Yeah. Iron Man and Wolverine was on the team. And they're all getting back together to figure out what happened to Wolverine, and possibly some of his mutant DNA is being sold on this supervillain underground black market, and it's really interesting. Tony Stark bids on a few things other than what is possibly Wolverine's DNA. It is a great book in the miniseries written by Tom Taylor and art by R.B. Silva. So check it out. And finally, I'm going to talk about these 2 books in one. This is Flash number 47 and 48, and this is part 1 and 2 of the Flash War. And I've been reading comics through 90s, 2000s. Basically, in all that time, Wally West was Flash. I love Wally West. He's my favorite Flash. And then Barry Allen came into the picture, and we lost Wally West for a while during the New 52, but he's back. And now this is dealing with what happened to the missing years that the New 52 kind of retconned, and we find out that maybe some of that is still there, and Wally West's kids may actually have still existed, along with some of the other speedsters like Max Mercury and Impulse. So this has been really interesting. Definitely if you're into the DC Comics lore, a lot of the background stuff, and the history and the multiverse and the Speed Force, all that, this is a great story. I'm interested to see issue 3 and see what that brings in, because where this part 2 left off, there are still a lot of questions to what really happened and where has Wally been. They say he's stuck in the Speed Force, but does that mean everybody else is stuck in the Speed Force? I don't know. It'll be really interesting to find out, and I feel like this is going to be a pretty important book for the whole DC universe going forward. So those were the books I was talking about this week, and next week hopefully I will have the comic call from Instagram imported over to YouTube, if I can remember to do that correctly. And then hopefully I'll be announcing all the details about my Kickstarter coming up. I wanted to wait till July. That's when the Kickstarter's going to start, is about midway through July, and I will announce the name of it, kind of what it's about, and everything leading up to the Kickstarter. So when it goes live, you will know what it is, and you'll be ready to help me fund it. So thanks so much, and I will see you next time.